Hey drinking buddies, thanks for joining me again today. We are using a resistance band with our yoga practice. It's okay if you don't have a resistance band. You can use a strap or you can just mimic the movements, but it is helpful to have some resistance either in the form of a weight or a band. And one of the benefits of the resistance band is resistance changes the harder you pull, whereas if you were using a hand weight, for example, a 7-pound weight is always a 7-pound weight, so there's some variability with the resistance band that is an additional challenge to your muscles. So we're starting on the floor on your sitting bones. We'll wrap the band around the arch or the ball of your foot. You can do this barefoot. I just happen to have shoes on for this. And you're going to take a bow pose. So we want you right up on your sitting bones, lifting up with your chest. And then we're going to pull back with one elbow so that your shoulders face along the side of the mat, and then bring it to center. And we'll alternate. So a lot of people will keep their shoulders forward, and that's okay. It just won't isolate you through the lats the way that we're aiming for here. And then let's take a rowing motion. Let's bring your feet back flat to the floor. Take the band across the tops of your thighs, cross underneath, and then bring the handles up top. So we're lying back, press up into a bridge, and you'll drop your knees out and in. So some resistance bands don't have any fabric covering, so they might slide on your thighs as you're dropping your knees out and in. Feeling this in the medius and abductors. I have a student who likes to do her band below the knee, kind of around the shin and the calf. And you're welcome to try both ways, see if one works better than the other for you. And release. Now you won't hold on to the band by the handles, but you're going to make the band slightly taut across the tops of your hips, and you'll hold your hands down and take a breathing bridge. So the tailbone is the first thing to leave the floor. It's the last thing to come back to the floor. Remember to squeeze your cheeks and push into your heels. Good, and release. You'll take one foot into the band. So most of us are pretty strong. You won't need to hold the band by the handles. You're to leave your backs of your arms, your humerus bones on the floor, and you're pressing your foot out and forward, not straight up to the ceiling, because I find that that's not quite as effective as this variation. we'll change sides. So the same thing here, your elbows aren't going to leave the floor. So just take about 5 to 7 breaths for this movement. Tend to go by duration instead of by reps, and that way it's a little easier to keep count, for me anyway. Now we'll take the band underneath the tips of your shoulder blades, and again, you probably won't hold on to the handles. You'll probably find that you can hold on to the band itself. I'm sort of caught up on the back of the fireplace here, so I can only do this well with one arm, otherwise I'm out of the frame. But you're going to drop your arms out wide in the shape of a T, and then touch your palms together. So we're getting into your pecs and your biceps here. And you're holding the band taut, so it's not like it's shifting the way we will for bicep curls and things like that. So you're holding it taut the entire time and having to keep the band from springing back on you. So that's where the resistance is coming from. And let's come into all fours on hands and knees. So, the first thing that we'll do is triceps. You'll get the band so that it's steady under your knees. And again, you probably won't end up holding on to the handle. You'll get your palm facing your body, and then you're going to pull straight up, keeping your palm facing your body. So we're not trying to extend out away from your body, we're just running your hand up the side from the knee to the underarm. So you'll feel this back part of the arm working. And let's take this on the other side. And release. I find that for the hamstrings, it's good if you skew the band to one side, get a grip with one knee, and you'll have to sort of lasso your foot around. And then you can use the handle for this, as long as it doesn't, pull against your wrist. And you're just going to kick your foot straight back and in. and on the other side. So again, you'll want the band more to one side than the other. And straight back. And we're ready to come up to standing. So the first thing we'll do is step onto your band. Feet are about hip shoulder width apart. Palms face forward, elbows are away from the sides of the body. You'll pull in with your belly button, bring your palms to your shoulders. So we're in the biceps here. So if you're finding that this is too easy for you, again, you can sort of choke up on the band and not hold the handle. You can hold the band itself. That will increase the resistance. We're going to pull in with your belly button as you're bringing your hands towards your shoulders. And shifting to deltoids, you'll turn the palms to face inward. And for most women, it will be better to take your arms out in the shape of a V, like so, in front of you. And men, you can probably take a T shape. The reason that women might prefer to do a V shape as opposed to a T shape is because your lats will get involved and you could end up with that cobra back. And men being broad through the shoulders and narrow through the hips like to enhance that. Women tend to not want to widen the shoulders as much. So go with where your goals are. If you want just the deltoids, take the V shape. If you want the deltoids and lats, take the T shape. But we don't want any bend through the elbows. If you're having to do this, that probably means there's too much resistance. And again, you don't have to be holding on to the handles. You can choke up on the band, hold on to the band itself, and get more resistance that way. And lots of bands come in different resistance weights. You can get a set of them. There's usually 5 to 6 different resistance settings. It's important to check in with yourself, make sure that you're not locking out through your knees here and that your tailbone's not flying out behind you. We don't want your low back to be holding you up. Still in the deltoids, we're going to cross the bands in front of you like so. The palms face your body. And then you're going to keep your palms facing your body, but just lift your hands as high as you can, keeping your palms facing your body. So we don't want you doing that. We want you right here. Keeping the band in this X shape, we're going to shift the weight to one foot, it doesn't matter which, and flex the other foot. And you're just going to let your foot pump towards and away from you, and you'll feel this abductor muscle down the outside of your thigh working. You'll feel your gluteus medius kicking in as well for help. It's just a good one for the core because you're on one foot the whole time, although if you need to, you can set your foot down in between each rotation. And let's change sides. So keep your toes pointed forward. They might tend to want to come out to the side. Don't let them. You want to keep the rotation of the foot right straight ahead. It's helpful to find what we call a drishti, or a point of focus. Usually on the floor is a good idea, or something up on the ceiling or right where the wall meets the ceiling. And release. So now we're definitely not going to hold on to the handles. We're actually going to take a pretty narrow grip, but we'll take a wide stance for super horse. So we want the knees bent. The shoulders are right over the hips. We don't want your hips out behind you. We want to keep you right up here. Arms are out parallel to the floor, palms are parallel to the floor, and you're just going to open and close. I like to just hold here, but you are welcome to have straight knees when your hands are together, bent knees when your hands are apart. If you'd like to do that, that's fine. And again, if you want more challenge, you can adjust your grip wherever you'd like to be to give yourself the workout that you need. We're again in the pecs, we're in the biceps a little bit. You'll feel your lats and traps coming in to help you. Now bring the feet together, or as close together as you can get them feeling stable. So here again, it's really important not to let your tailbone fly out behind you. Keep your belly tucked in and your tailbone tucked under. You're gonna find a wide width above your head. Keep this resistance. Dip to one side, your belly's kind of relaxed. Pull in with your belly, bring it to center. The belly's kind of relaxed. Pull your belly to your backbone, and that'll bring your shoulders over your hips. So you're supposed to let your hips sort of bump out to the side a little bit. So we're in the obliques here. Good, and release. So taking this same grip, I'm going to turn my back to you so you can see what I'm doing, and I'll be facing away from the microphone, so I'll switch back in just a moment. We're working in the triceps, so this same grip, you're going to drop the band down behind you, and then, so one palm will face away from you toward the wall in front of you, one palm will face behind you toward the wall behind you. And then you're going to extend and release, extend and release, just like that. There. So your palms are facing opposite directions. Good, and let's change sides. So you just sort of let the band dangle down your back. Reach up as high as you can, because remember your hands are going to be going apart in opposite directions. Should be from this angle again. And release. So one more for the triceps. We're taking sort of a warrior one position. And I prefer for me to have the band at the back foot. I've seen some people do it with the band on the front foot. So I'm going to demonstrate the way that I like to do it the best, and I'll do it from both angles for you. So what you'll do here is you're going to drop your hands behind your back. My palms are facing each other. And then I'm going to turn my palms to face the wall in front of me. So now my hands point at each other, my hands point to the front, towards each other, toward the front. So here's how it looks from this angle. And let's change sides. So again, I like to have the band on the back foot. You can try it on the front side and see if that's better for you. So the palms face each other, the palms face forward. The palms face each other, the palms face forward. Again, you might be, if you're near a mirror, it'll look like this for you. And release. So I hope this was helpful to you. It's just a quick way to incorporate a little resistance into your yoga practice, build a little bit more muscle tone or muscle mass, and I hope this was helpful to you. Rock out with your core.